The function f is defined by this: for all real values of x where x is less than or equal to 0. State the range of f. The inverse of f is f minus 1. Write down the domain of f minus 1. Find an expression for f minus 1 of x. The function g is defined by this, where x doesn't equal a third. The curve with equation y equals g of x is sketched below. G of the curve here intersects the x-axis at the origin and at the point P. Find the x-coordinate of P. State whether the function g has an inverse. Give a reason for your answer. Show that g of f of x is equal to this, stating the value of the constant k. And solve the equation g of f of x equals 0. So it's a terribly long question, so let's have a little go at it then. This first part here, state the range of f. Okay. Right, well, if we shoot off to infinity... Oh, it's a quadratic, isn't it? So let's just... fx, so I'll do part A here. So fx is equal to x squared over 3 minus 4 thirds, isn't it? Well, clearly, as x gets large, this will get very, very large, and it will just shoot up. It will be a U-shaped curve. The minimum value will be when x is 0, and we get minus 4 thirds. So we can just write down the range of f is given by y is greater than or equal to, because when x is, oh, it's just the negative side. So, but still it's going to shoot up. It's going to shoot up, and it's still going to be shoot up on the negative side, isn't it? And it's going to come down, because it can touch 0, it's going to come down to minus 4 thirds, isn't it? So this is the solution set, even though it's just half of the U-shaped curve. Write down the domain of f minus 1. So the domain of f minus 1 is just the range of f, isn't it? So domain f minus 1 is basically the set of all the numbers, is the range of f, which is x is bigger than or equal to minus 4 thirds. It's all these numbers here. Okay, because it was the domain of f minus 1 is just simply the range of f. Find f minus 1 of x. So I'll just do that here. So y equals x squared minus 4 over 3. So 3y equals x squared minus 4. So that tells us that x squared equals 3y plus 4. So I'll move the 4 over. Square root. Now x is negative. So that tells us when we take the square root that x will equal the square root of, and it'll be the minus value of 3y plus 4 because x is negative. So here then, so I'll put it in here. F minus 1 of x, then swap the symbols around, is equal to minus the square root of 3y plus 4. So apologies for the room, but the question is exorbitantly long, so I've just put it in around the question. So there's the inverse then there. Now we go on to part C. This is our function. I hope you can see it here. Find the coordinates of P. That would be this logarithmic function when this value of 1 will give log of 1 is 0, isn't it? And that's what we want. So when is this 1? Be 1 when x is 2 thirds, won't it? Because 2 minus 1. The 3's will cancel. 2 minus 1 would give 1. So write down part C, g of x, find p coordinate. Actually, the question said to find the x value. So it's x equals 2 thirds here. And that was because if you put this is equal to 1, when 3x minus 1, I'll just do it here in rough, is equal to 1, isn't it? Log 1 would be 0. And that tells us that 3x equals 2. And we can see that x equals 2 thirds as we said. We just worked it out in our heads here. So that's okay then, that's how we got it. Okay, so that's that part. Part 2, show that, state whether g of x has an inverse, and give a reason it said, didn't it? So part 2, g of x does not have inverse, give a reason, since g of 0, when you put 0 in, you get log of modulus minus 1, which is log 1, equals g of, when the p was the value 2/3 here, and they both equal 0, don't they? So it's not suitable for an inverse because these two values map onto this one range value. Okay, that's part 2. So show that g of f of x is equal to that. So part 3 then. So we'll use a bit of room here now. G of f of x is equal to, now f of x is equal to x squared minus 4 over 3. And this was for when x is less than or equal to 0. Okay, and that will be log of 3x minus 1, wasn't it? Sorry, let's have a look at g again, sorry. It's log of 3x minus 1 modulus of the modulus of 3, this squared, that's what we've got then, haven't we? So that's equal to, this will be 9, 3 over 9 will be a third, so it's a log of x squared minus 4, and then this will be 9, that's a squared, so one of the 3's will cancel, minus 1 modulus. Okay, we've got that then, and that holds for x is less than or equal to 0. Okay, so let's just see what x, we've got here x squared minus k, haven't we? Okay, so we better see what we can get from this then. Let's have a look at it. It's log n of x squared minus 8x plus 16 minus 3 over 3. Okay, so that's equal to then. Oh, hang on, let me just check that, because I don't know, that doesn't look right to me. It's 3x minus 1, sorry, not 3x squared minus 1. It's 3x, so there's the mistake. So we spotted it quite soon after we started the problem, so I'm just going to scratch this now. And we can just 3x minus 1, there we are, that's what it is. Log of x squared, the 3's will cancel, minus 4, minus 1 is minus 5. And this is when x is less than 0, and this is a modulus, isn't it? So we get that, and that's what we wanted to show. Find k. So k is equal to 5. So that's that one. Solve g of f of x equals 0. So here, part 4. Log x squared minus 5 equals 0 implies, unwrap the log, x squared minus 5 equals 1. Right, okay, so what have we got here then? So that means that x squared minus 5 can equal 1, or x squared minus 5 equals minus 1. These are the two possibilities. X squared, move the 5 over, you get 6. Move the 5 over here, you get 4. Square root, don't forget x is negative, so x is equal to minus root 6, isn't it? It's the negative solution. And x equals minus 2. So those are the two solutions. Let's just go back, solve that, and we get these two solutions here. So I've just checked through this question. There's only one slight correction I need to make here. When I did f minus 1 of x, I got this equation here, but I wanted to swap the symbols. X goes to y for the inverse and y goes to x. So that I should have put in a y here, an x here, shouldn't I? So that would be minus square root of 3x plus 4. So apologies for that. But that part there for the inverse should be written as this. So we rearranged it for x equals and here, and then we swap the symbols. X becomes the y for the inverse and y becomes the x.